The Dogon people are indigenous to Mali in West Africa and have one of the oldest surviving oral traditions to still exist in the modern world. They have a long and interesting history, and it is thought they originated from Egypt, but at some point likely traveled through or settled in the Mandi kingdom before traveling to Mali, and specifically in the 15th century to the Bandigara escarpment, to escape Islamization and Christianization. Their oral tradition and cosmogony have made them famous and poses a highly debated question. Do the Dogon people have highly advanced knowledge of the formation of the universe, matter, and biological reproduction, astronomy, and more in what is considered modern scientific discoveries? All this exists within an intricate blend of science, myth, religion, and cultural practices, something largely foreign to modern thinkers, but how most religions were practiced for most of human history. The debate, of course, is whether the Dogon simply incorporated and infused Western ideas of science into their cosmology in the 1900s, when several anthropologists spent many years living with them and learning from them, or that the Dogon had their own ways of learning these astrophysical processes and shapes depicted by their art and cosmology. The likes of Carl Sagan and other Western scientists have made the arguments in favor of Western diffusion into the Dogon people's cosmology, which of course they would, because only modern science believes in its own capacity of understanding the world and the universe. While I don't want to derail the topic too much, I do have to say that there are many flaws in modern science, the scientific method, and just Cartesian thought that formed the basis of modern Western scientific philosophy. I'm going to put together a video purely on that subject, but just know modern science is one of the worst systems to ever exist, and I'll make a video tearing it apart, because so long as it's viewed as the end-all, be-all of knowledge, we're never going to get anywhere. If you can't tell, I hate modern science, and most people don't even know the history of science. But like I said, I'll tackle that next. Let's get back to the Dogon. So what is represented in their cosmological symbols? The dynamic of light and time. Matter can behave as a particle or a wave. Sound travels in waves. Matter is composed of fundamental elements, electrons orbiting atoms. Thread is the component of matter, and the thread vibrates. Quantum forces, molecular bond, cellular reproduction, hydrogen forms in pairs, water cycle, genetic inheritance from parent chromosomes, that there are 22 pairs of chromosomes, and X and Y chromosomes, DNA, and a lot of planetary and astronomical knowledge that cannot be seen with the naked eye, most famously their belief of Sirius B. The Sagans of the world argue against their knowledge of such things, considering their use of these symbols predates the discovery of these processes of the universe, as well as these themes themselves existing across many cultures as far as 5000 BC, should be enough indication of their long use and knowledge of these principles. They are symbols sacred to many religions and cultures. It is unique that the Dogon maintained their traditions and symbols for so long, but I imagine we could have met many similarly confounding cultures if certain groups hadn't done their best to eradicate them and their knowledge. If you want some more detailed explanations of the Dogon cosmology and their beliefs, as well as the arguments for and against the source of their knowledge, I'll provide some links in books, and I'm sure there are plenty of videos that can handle that much better than me. What I want to talk about, because this is my primary area of interest right now, is how the Dogon could have come to learn what they did. The three main theories are this: Western knowledge diffused with contact. Their knowledge came from aliens, as one of their myths perhaps suggests, from the Sirius B system. The third is the Dogon simply had telescopes at some point, as most of those principles can be learned with just a small amount of magnification. There is a fourth explanation which I think is unique to our study here in this channel. And I am speaking of the microscopic esoterica. The sacred symbols of the Dogon are mainly microscopic symbols. This can be obtained through various means such as meditation, dreams, and psychoactive compounds. The seed of life is cell division, for example. We are composed of microscopic parts, all of the universe is. Our eyes are the only sense that can't see microscopic processes without aid. The finger can discern objects down to the nanometer. The nose, of course, has receptors which interpret particles, and sound captures waves. We are also made of our microbiome, that is the source of our consciousness. Throw in brain-altering neurotransmitters, synesthesia, and the fractal patterns and other psychoactive microscopic perceptory enhancements, and it is easy to believe how any group from any point of time could learn these symbols and the same processes, which they have time and time again, only interpreted and explained unique to the ecosystem and culture and microbiome of an individual group. Specifically, I think the Dogon had at least some contact with the Amanita Muscaria. Their chief creator god is Amma, and this is related to the Egyptian Amun and the Hebrew Imen, where I believe the Amanita root stems from. The Amanus Mountains, where the Amanita taxonomy comes from that we use, was a part of a series of mountain ranges that are littered with sky god temples and shrines. People from the Proto-Indo-European to Greek and Hebrew and Middle Eastern worshippers have long practiced meditation and experienced God in these shrines. The spiritual travel is attested to by many who have seriously meditated on this neurotransmitter, allowing the mycelium fruit to wear the user, briefly connecting them to the mycelial consciousness, where microscopic knowledge and astronomical knowledge can easily be obtained. I've hopefully provided enough information on this channel to explain how to tap into this without the use of any substance even, purely through dreams and meditation. I wanted to make this brief video sharing this viewpoint on the Dogon. It's worth a read if you're interested in learning more about this culture and the cosmology and how it relates to a lot of our current understanding of physics and space. And they even had plenty of knowledge that hadn't been discovered by Western science at the time their cosmology was studied by scholars, such as a belief that there is a Sirius C. Ancient knowledge is not lost, but they are blended into rich and wonderful tales where all fields of study were not divided as they are now. This knowledge is recorded and maintained by the microbial network, and all religions are based on their interaction with this database called spirituality or microbial consciousness. Thanks for watching.